Something that eats at me almost every day was in a struggling relationship. I'm 16 when I was in school. We were together for a couple years. The start was great, typical high school lovebirds. Towards the end of our relationship with F16, who will be called Kelly for this story, we were on and off, seeing other people. We were trying to outdo each other with other partners, making ourselves jealous, but still hook up ourselves. It was weird, I know, but in the process of trying to make Kelly jealous, I heard a really close friend. This friend will be named Marie F16 for the purpose of this story. Now, Marie was the nicest, most innocent, sincere girl you could meet. Marie was on top of all of her classes. We got along very well. She was quite innocent, as I said, and I was quite outgoing and crude in typical teenage boy fashion. Marie would laugh at my crude jokes like she had never heard such a thing before, as her family was quite strict. She barely had a phone and had no social media, so it was almost impossible to talk to her outside of school hours, except by email. And later on, text messages. With a few years of being friends in school, Marie and I became very close friends. I was very happy when we had classes together, hearing her laugh. I loved being able to share time and classes with her completely platonically. I saw Marie as super genuine, caring, loving. I could keep going on about her forever. You get the picture. She was beautiful. We had lots of inside jokes that we shared, like me not being able to pronounce or spell her ridiculously long surname, which still haunts me to this day because I cannot find her online, anywhere to reach out. Even her friends from school can't point me in her direction anymore. When Marie's parents finally let her get a phone and bring it into school, we exchanged phone numbers. We texted almost every day. We became even closer. It was no longer a platonic relationship. Who would have thought? Marie had almost never even thought about kissing someone, let alone a relationship. Everything was new to her. Her parents, still being extremely strict, would not allow her to go out after school, and certainly wasn't allowed to go out on weekends. God, no, blasphemy. Marie took to lying to her parents, telling them she's going to the after-school homework club, which is very in character for her. The lying was not. Marie even actually told me she's going to be in homework club for 45 minutes, so she didn't technically lie to her parents. After her 45-minute homework club, in which she texted me the whole time, our meeting spot was behind the tree line, behind the basketball stadium. This lying about homework club really gave her a rush. We met up behind the stadium 2 to 3 times a week after school hours. I dropped out at that point for an apprenticeship, so I would catch the train and after work to see her. We never did anything sexual in our little secret spot. We sat there together and talked about anything and everything. Sitting there with her head on my shoulder melted me inside. Simply holding Marie's hand made her blush. It was beautifully pure. We respected each other for who we were. It wasn't like what I felt with Kelly. Marie wasn't outgoing and sexually active. We enjoyed each other's company rather than trying to fuck each other brains out. On one of our little outings one day, we shared a kiss or 3. Holding her close, she almost crumbled in my arms. Marie was bright red and had a smile on her from cheek to cheek. She went in for another kiss, and then we stopped. We sat there until it was getting dark, just holding each other and talking. I miss our adventures. I seen her one day in the back of her car leaving the local shops one time. We locked eyes and I almost subconsciously blew her a kiss and waved. That was a horrible move by me. I didn't think about her father driving the car, who seen me blow her this kiss, and I'm pretty sure he blew it out the sky like a clay pigeon with his eyes. She went radio silent for 3 days. I was worried. Since I was not going to school anymore, Marie and I had not contact. She finally texted me and told me her parents scolded her for the interaction on the street. Her dad rightfully picked out that something was wrong. It became harder for us to see each other. Her dad started picking her up after school, which only gave us barely a glance when I got off the train. Even glancing at each other for a second put a smile on both our faces. Marie and I awkwardly kept in contact with completely separate conversations between emails, texts, and even a Google Doc. She invited me to one time for her project note during this awkward phase of still technically having some sort of relationship with Kelly. Kelly found out I was dating the goody to shoes from science class. Kelly was livid. What had naturally occurred between Marie and I was genuine. Kelly went ballistic and told everyone we were dating, and well, no one really cared, except her parents. That kinda knew. But the whole situation freaked Marie out. Kelly even took to emailing. Yes, She emailed Marie to say some not quite nice things since Mare had no phone. One night Kelly and I were talking. She offered for me to come stay with her for the night. Her house was closer to my job site at the time. Almost instantly, my penis told me to accept Kelly's offer. I did. Kelly and I made up and sexed each other's brains out that night. We talked and ended up getting back together. In my stupid, hormonal teenage sex brain, I never thought about Marie. I shared her first kiss. The first person she openly disobeyed her parents for. I was the first person to hold her hand. For Christ's sake, due to my struggling comes with Marie, I literally cold cut ended communications. I think the last thing I said to her was, "It's too difficult, and I could not go on like this anymore." Marie never knew the reason why her first boyfriend, everything left her out in the cold. I never knew how she felt, if she cried, if she hates me for it, or even if she remembers it. We quite literally never spoke again. I honestly hope she doesn't remember it or care, but I still remember my first kiss, vividly. I sometimes see her in the faces of the women that pass by me and get sad for what I did. Even now, and I'm 25, it was horrible. I am, a horrible person. Kelly and I didn't even last a month before we split up. I still never spoke to Marie again. I chose sex over the most sincere person I've ever met to this day. I don't have her email anymore. And since her name is something the German language would envy in size, I can't find her on socials. I have her number, and I poured my heart out in an apology message to her. But alas, I'm pretty sure it was sent into the void. If you somehow read this, Mary, I'm so sorry. I wish I could change what I did.